Hi, Jimmers. Hi. I'm about with 24 books of 2024, and I need to go on a nostalgia spree at the moment, okay? Reading classic books or children's books, but it's what I pick up in charity shops. And I've never read any of these books until now. Now, I knew of them, of course. I mean, they're basically this TV show. I saw the first episode, I enjoyed it, but I never actually read any of Malory Towers, Enid Blyton's Malory Towers. Okay, so here we are. Let's read the blurb. This is the blurb. It is the first in the Malory Towers series. Enid Blyton's exciting school stories have filled millions of girls and boys. Start reading them today. That's the blurb. So Mallory is going to, sorry, Darrell is going to Malory Towers. Also, what kind of name is Darrell? Or is it Darrell? Okay, I'm going to call her Darrell. Okay, so she's going to Malory Towers. She's nervous. She is heading off to boarding school. And this is when Pamela, one of the kind of elder, says this, okay? Right, you're lucky, but Daryl, you just begin at Malory Towers. You've got terms of terms before you. I'm just ending another term or two, and I shan't be coming to Malory Towers anymore. Then as an old girl, you should make the most of it while you can. And also, it's very kind of twee British 1950s, kind of jolly hockey sticks. But one thing I do love is the themes in it feel so universal. I mean, Daryl is going to this school. She knows absolutely no one. People have known each other before, or go to camps, or went to previous schools. She's never had that. She's just starting totally fresh. So she's nervous. She's excited. You know, it's called Malory Towers. She's literally going to live in a tower overlooking the sea. I mean, how cool is that? Also, one thing I absolutely love is they have a swimming pool, but the swimming pool is filled up from the sea. It's seawater coming straight in. I love that too. Now, okay, it's all chlorinated, but I just love that. Okay, the tide coming in so you can go swimming in a safe environment, which actually a lot of pools today still have that. They have tide pools. So no, I think just some very nice touches. She meets the other people. She meets Mary, who's quiet. She meets Gwendolyn. Oh, Gwendolyn is the nemesis in this book. Okay, Gwendolyn is the bully. Okay, and one thing about this, it felt very. Now I went to an all-girls school. I know, lucky me. So reading this, it just felt like because this book came out in the 1950s. Okay, right, here you go. So first published in 1946, post-war. This is a post-war novel, literally just post-war. But even though this book came out 70 years ago, was first published, the themes it felt so universal. Okay, going to a new school, finding friends, finding your group. Daryl is she's one thing I did like about it is that she's a very kind of realised character. A lot of times in Enid Blyton stories, okay, or school stories, the lead character is a goody two shoes, that kind of thing. One thing I will give Enid Blyton, even though her work has been criticised over the years for racial stereotypes and there's been versions that have been updated for modern day audience, hey, whatever, it doesn't take away the classics. You can read both versions and enjoy them for what they were, okay? So is the theme felt so universal, and Dal is okay. She's a hothead. She has a temper. She talks about striking people. She does strike people. She slaps people around the face. So at various points, okay, her attitude is she hates bullies, but at various times, okay, she also acts like one as well. It's very very fresh. And there's one bit here, okay, that I just wait. I want to read this out, okay. Does it remind you of anything? Mrs. Grayling, the headmistress, okay, this is when they first meet the girls, okay, who just started. One day you leave school and go into the world as young women. You should take with you the eager minds, kind hearts, and a will to help. You should take with you a good understanding of many things, a willingness to show set responsibility and show yourselves as women to be loved and trusted. All these things you'll be able to learn at Malory Towers, if you will. I do not count as our successes for those who have won scholarships and passed exams, or those are good things to do. I count our success at those who learn to be good-hearted and kind, sensible, and trust and sound women the world can lean on. Our failures are those who do not learn these things in the years they are here. In the film Wild Child, okay, which, okay, if anyone actually seen it, it's got a young Emma Roberts in it, is, okay, that's virtually from verbatim the script that the headmistress gave, right? And actually love the film Wild Child because it's kind of like, is this what Americans think a wild child is? Poppy, as the character's name is, and memory serves, she does some bad stuff, okay, but that's not wild. In the UK, okay, we're like, wait, ain't you quaint? Ain't you quaint, darling? Right. And then you meet Gwendolyn. Now, Gwendolyn school bully. Gwendolyn school bully, and Gwendolyn hates Darrell. Right. And here's the here. Gwendolyn's only ever had a governess. Gwendolyn doesn't know how to um, um, kind of deal with people in large situations, but I don't really feel sorry for her because it's a bit here, okay, right? It's just when, okay, Gwendolyn's hair is all over the place because she's got to have it in plaits, right? And Darrell gets hold of her hair and starts plaiting it for her, right? Let me plait it for you, said Darrell, jumping up. It doesn't look to me as if you know how to plait, Gwendolyn. Darrell comes across a bit like, hold on, you touching another girl's hair? That's a no-no, right? Gwendolyn scowled and forgot to thank Darrell for her help. Actually, she did look quite nicer now. How spoiled she is, thought Darrell. Well, little as I want Sally for a friend, I want Gwendolyn even less. I just want to slap her for all the silly airs and graces. She does look much nicer, but Gwendolyn doesn't thank her. I'm like, yeah, because he just touched her goddamn hair. Right. And there's actually a chapter called Darrell Loses Her Temper. Right. And because what she's doing is just Darrell's starting to muck about a bit, and Gwendolyn hates her. She's not taking it seriously, right? And Gwendolyn is just ego, right? Gwendolyn was jealous of the way Alicia and Betty, recognised leaders in the first form, had made friends with Darrell. I thought Darrell was just as new as she herself was. And she, Gwendolyn, was much prettier and had, she was sure, much more charm of manner. Right. She took Sally Hope into her confidence. I don't think Darrell Rivers pushes herself forward all the time, do you? She said to Sally. I think she's so marvellous. Right. Right. Not that coming up with Alicia and Betty, not that I would if they asked me. Sally didn't look very interested, but Gwendolyn didn't mind. She went on grumbling about Darrell. She thinks she's got such a good brain. She thinks she's played such a marvellous game of tennis, and she thinks she's so good at swimming. I've got a good mind to show her that I'm twice as good as she is. Why don't you, says Sally, bored, instead of showing everyone else who's twice as bad. Right. So yeah, Gwendolyn's like, oh, I'm much better than Darrell. I'm much better than Darrell. And everyone's like, oh, no one cares. No one cares. And then there's Mary Lou, and who is a new girl as well. She's shy. She's bewildered. She's not happy. She's nervous. She actually reminded me a lot of me, funny enough, when I was at school, because I went to school with an older sibling. I went to an all-girls school as well, by the way. Did not help. So, you know, just Mary Lou is just this bit here. Right. No one teased Mary Lou too much. It was like teasing a small bewildered kitten. Gwendolyn saw her floundering about near her, and because she knew Mary Lou was even more afraid of the pool than she was, she felt a sense of power. So she dunks Mary Lou in the pool. Mary Lou starts drowning. Darrell saves her from drowning, and so it was all explained. And what it is, Gwendolyn tried to play the victim. No one actually believes her, even after Darrell slaps her, so it gets even worse. And Gwendolyn's attitude is just to get back at Darrell. That's the thing. And people start turning on Gwendolyn, absolutely. And it's for here, okay? So when Gwendolyn's like, so Gwendolyn does like sneak a spider from the garden, puts it in a desk. Spider gets everyone's absolutely massive. Spider of my nightmares, incidentally. And this for here, okay, right? This is when this is when after all, okay, basically she goes to Miss Potts, who's the full mistress, if you will, okay, like the head maiden, right? And she's like, when there's like, oh well, actually, what it is well, I think Darrell and Miss Potts is like, I tried to sneak, a more polite language, to tell tales. Why are you a little snitch? Okay, that's not the words. Because this don't try it on me. And the boarding school I went to, Gwendolyn, we had a good punishment for sneaks. All the girls went into the sneaks dormitory, one good spank with the back of a hairbrush. It made a lot of interesting things to tell me, but I was no use expecting me to listen. I wonder if the girls in must have the same permission for snakes. I must ask them. Right, okay. Right, yeah. Because no one likes a snitch bitch. It's authenticated. The for Maiden Miss Potts, okay, or Potsy as she's called, or Potty as she's called. Um, she's like, I don't have time for you, Gwendolyn. Okay, I've done with your drama. I'm done with your drama. Okay. And also, is this now while she's at Malory Towers, Darrell, she's mucking about. Okay, she's started off well. She's not paying attention now in her lessons. She's getting to that kind of just playing around in lessons. Okay, she's a teen. Well, she's not even a teenager. She's a pre-teenager. She's a child, but she's not taking it seriously anymore. And so when it gets to the grades, okay, everyone is named and shamed. Everyone, okay, in the form, in the list, okay, who's good and who's bad. Oh, and Daryl thinks, okay, well, because I'm actually quite good at lessons, I'm smart, me, and I'm so good at playing tennis, and I'm so good at swimming, I'm going to be really, really high up. And she's not. And she is not, okay? Right. She was 10th from the bottom. Right, 10th from the bottom. And Miss Potts tells this, right? I tell you, Daryl, there are people like Alicia who can play the forwarding class and waste our time and everyone else's, yet still come up well in the work. And there are people like you who can play the fool and waste their time, but fortunately it affects their work and they slide down the bottom. Do you understand? Yeah, she tells it to her face. She tells it to her face that you got to stop mucking around in classes. One thing I did actually like about this book, it really kind of pushes teenagers, well, these children, take responsibility for their actions. Remember, this is a boarding school. They are away from their homes, away from their situation, and in a way, in a subtle way, as schools are. Okay, I mean, the thing. One thing is this, okay, things like smacks. Okay, Daryl smacks people. Okay, that's kind of like a thing. But no tutor actually smacks anyone. There is nothing like that going on. So, so even though it's a school case, it probably does practice corporal punishment. It's never actually seen. It's all done through the students, which I like that. My parents went to a school, okay, with corporal punishment. Yes, they were caned, right? I mean, my dad was caned, okay, because he was a natural born left-hander, and he was caned until he started using his right. I mean, that's how bad it was, right? So that's why he was ambidextrous, incidentally. And when all three of his kids turned out to be left-handers, he was like, "Great, that's it." He didn't try to force it on them. I'm right-handed. I'm the outcast. The kind of thing. So there's this aspect of this book I generally like, and also is this. It really kind of shows how parents really screw up. Now, people go to boarding school for various reasons, but um, Sally, one of the students, is there, and this actually did break my heart, right? Is when they're talking about siblings, and Sally's like, "Well, I don't have a sibling," right? And they're like, "But actually, we do. I know my mother knows your mother. You've got a little sister, right?" And here's bit here. Daryl, Daryl's talking to her mother, and this is when they came at a like your parents' day, right? Sally's awfully funny about things. She's truly honest. She did tell me she hadn't got a sister, and she was furious with me for talking about her mother. She said I was interfering and all sorts of things. Well, perhaps she was joking, said Miss Rivers. Sally does know she's got a baby sister at home. For one thing, it was why she was sent to boarding school, so that a baby who is rather delicate can have Miss Hope's care. It's a dear little thing. I was like, no wonder Sally is upset. Okay, she feels abandoned. She feels neglected. Isn't that kind of hold back to show how parents do screw up when it comes to their children, right? And okay, and then when Sally and Daryl have a little fight, Daryl pushes Sally. She has appendicitis. Luckily, Daryl's father is a surgeon, so he comes and sorts her out. Actually, was still at the school. Now Sally needs to heal, right? And the teachers have it out with the parents, okay, about how no wonder Sally feels this way, denying that she's got a sibling when essentially you just kicked her to the curb. Right, here you go. Sally was 12 when Daphne was born, so she'd been the only child for all that time. Thought to be pleased to have a sister. We hadn't spoiled Sally, you know, but she didn't have to share with us anymore till Daphne came, and sometimes I wonder if she was jealous. Well, of course she was, Miss Grayling, the headmistress said at once. I should think, Miss Holmes, Sally was very attached to you, I was there just sharing your love when the baby came. She probably didn't tell you, so in case you thought badly of her. Right. And the mum was like, oh, I didn't realise that Sally was so unhappy. She wasn't happy when the baby came. And then I sent her off to Malory Towers. Right. Of course. Right. She feels abandoned. Well done, parents. I mean, remember, this was the book that came out in the 1940s, but it doesn't hesitate in showing how, A, parents screw up, sibling jealousy, but also a headmistress will have the guts to turn to a parent and say, you're screwing up as a parent, your daughter is unhappy because she feels abandoned because you send her to this school. That's quite a gutsy thing to write in the 1940s. Okay, parents as people, parents that screw up. Say it went about Enid Blyton's content, but she didn't hold back and actually challenging these kind of assumptions. Okay, life at a boarding school is not all jolly hockey sticks. The mental welfare of children needs to be considered too. This is a book written in 1946, forward thinking. But what happens is Gwendolyn is really going through a bad time. She's got no friends. She was trying to um, kind of get Mary Lou to her side and basically make Mary Lou a partner in crime, blame Darrell, but Mary Lou is standing up for herself and also actually winds up saving I think it's Gwendolyn, right, saving Gwendolyn in the pool, so she's become more confident and more alive. But the thing is, one thing that Gwendolyn never considered is Gwendolyn has sat there and said about to her parents, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm fabulous, mummy and daddy. She never realised, okay, she's raised by a governess. She gets a report card. Oh yeah. Poor Gwendolyn, it never had occurred to her for one single moment that her bad and lazy work would be reported in this fashion to her parents. She sat down in a chair and stared at Darrell. But Gwendolyn, do you never have a report on your work before? Said Darrell in surprise. Never, said the crestfallen Gwendolyn. Never. I told you I'd never been to school before I came here. Only my governess Winter taught me. She never made out reports. Of course, she just told Mother how I was getting on. Mother believed her. I didn't know I was so backward until I came here. Right. So Gwendolyn needs to basically change her attitude. But a lot of people do. Right. And she realises that. She actually starts to grow up. She's like, I can't keep going on. Well, now everyone knows. Right. Everyone knows. My parents know what I'm really like. I need to change. Right. The responsibility that they mentioned at the start of Malory Towers is coming into play. And this bit here, okay, right. Darrell thought it'd been a long term, except for Sally's illness and the 2 or 3 days when the girls had thought she played a horrible trick on Mary Lou. I'll break in a pen, sorry. But Darrell didn't think of these things. She was sunny natured and liked to think of the nice things. She was sorry the time was coming to an end, but still the holes would be lovely. Oh yes. And Mary had become more confident. Darrell is recognising that she's got a temper, she has to calm it down. Gwendolyn is changing. Sally starts to love her sister. Okay, I like to show these characters' growth through this book. I generally thought it was impressive. Now, I can actually understand why Malory Towers is such a classic book since it was published in 1946 and it has so many fans, even down to the BBC drama. It would have fans in advance care to get the kind of audience. It's because it depicts people as real people. They're screw ups. Gwendolyn is a bully, but she starts to change and grow up and takes responsibility. Darrell realises that she has a temper, must work on it. Mary Lou becomes more confident. She's still shy, but she becomes more confident. Okay, Sally starts to realise, okay, it's not her sister's fault that her parents send her to this boarding school, and she starts to actually like her sister. Okay, so I like the growth. No, I generally was impressed by this book. I can understand why it has so many fans, and I might see if I'm going to try to find the rest. I want to read more, okay, about these characters. So the first time at Malory Towers, read it. It's good. And I'm signing off here.